Making money is one of the achievements as college students we work toward to make our dreams come true. We spend roughly 16 grades of our life at school to work hard every day to achieve that end goal we all desire. But wouldn't it be nice if we could make money while we try to achieve this goal? As college students, we have learned that money is just about one of the necessities that we need in order to get from point A to point B if we do not live near campus. Making money based on our GPA can help students work harder in school and have more time to get schoolwork done because of how much time our minimum wage jobs consume our lives. As high school students, most of us want to have a car. With a car, there comes more responsibilities that come our way. Depending on how nice your parents were to you or how affordable it was, you would need some kind of income to make these car payments, gas money, or the food you consume. With a minimum wage job, that makes these things possible. Time is one thing we all had to sacrifice because of the money we needed to make in order to pay the bills. As a high school kid playing 3 sports, maintaining a 3.25 GPA, and working about 20 hours a week on average after my sophomore year, I would say that I have a really good understanding of how much more convenient it would be to be paid based on our GPA rather than having these minimum wage jobs cut into my schoolwork time. Getting paid based on our GPA will help students keep their grades up, have a higher graduation rate, and motivate the not so motivated students to work harder in school. First, I would like to address that students, especially in college, work very hard to keep their grades up. Every week, students make sacrifices to their time to keep their grades up and maintain their GPA. A study from a website named Association of American Colleges and Universities explains that students spend about 30 hours a week on schoolwork. The text states, in higher education, a well-established rule of thumb holds that students should devote 2 hours of study time for every hour of class time. Assuming a full load of 15 credit hours, students adhering to this standard should spend 30 hours a week studying. Some of us students are working 40 hours a week on top of 30 hours of schoolwork every week. This is a maximum of about 70 hours in the most extreme cases, which can lead to tremendous amounts of workload and stress on a single student. If we were able to be paid on GPA, then we as students would have an average about 20 extra hours to get our schoolwork done in a timely fashion. With work adding about 20 more hours of time sacrifice, it could potentially develop stress because of time management. There are countless of times where students will do the very minimum to get their work done in a timely manner. Some even wait to the very last minute to do their assignments, to not having enough time in their week to either relax or unwind, or just have other assignments they have to do. Students that also commute 5 days a week also need to consider the cost of gas and the time spent during this commuting time. For example, I drive an hour and 30 minutes total getting from school and back, which is about 7.5 hours I waste per week just on commuting. Work can make these tasks seem almost impossible if students have minor inconveniences that happen in their life. Next, I would like to address that if we are paid based on GPA, we could see our graduation rates increase. If students do not have to work, there could be an increase in graduation rates. An article from CNBC.com explains how much students are being affected by working in college. The text states, more than half of students who work 15 hours or more only had an average of a C or lower. This shows that having these students work very hard to get the bills paid, these low-income students have a struggle keeping their GPA above a 3.0 because of the time and effort put solely aside their minimum wage job. The money wouldn't have to be a huge amount. It would just be some kind of money, some kind of side money that students could use to help pay the bills so they wouldn't have to work as much, so they could focus more on their end goal. For example, if we were paid to have better grades, it would be some kind of calculation involving the grades for the classes and the amount of credit hours we have in a week. Based on that calculation, it would give us a base pay amount of every week on how well we are doing in these classes. This would also help students keep in line and help them have more time to work harder on assignments and get them turned in a timely fashion. Now that we have the idea of the increased graduation rate, lastly I would like to address how students would be so much more motivated to work harder in school. If we were paid based on our GPA, students would be more motivated to work harder and get their assignments turned in on time. An article from gradeschools.org states how paying students can help them in the long run. The text states, Cash for Grades programs may jumpstart students' motivation by providing real-world rewards for their effort and performance. Proponents liken these rewards to an adult getting their raise or bonus for performing well on a job. This shows that it would also show students how it would be like to get a raise in the real job world and help them prepare for the real world to stay motivated. Everyone likes to get paid, so just like scholarships, the money would help these students pay for their everyday needs. This will help students make more time for their schoolwork and have more consideration of getting their work done on time. Now students would be able to not worry if they will actually have time to finish their work because now students would be able Now students would be able to not worry if they actually have time to finish their work because Now students would be able to not worry if they could actually have time to finish their work because they are at their minimum wage job barely getting by, increasing stress levels. Getting paid based on GPA will help students keep their grades up, have a higher graduation rate, and motivate the not so motivated students to work harder. By using the tactics I have stated, we could definitely help students pay for their monthly needs and not have to worry about getting their schoolwork done because of the little time we already have for school. One day these students can work toward what they actually desire in life.